And how did Dwayne get through practice yesterday with Pats?
Everything went good. He's being evaluated today and tomorrow just to see how it works out. So obviously the load today is going to be a little bit less than yesterday, but we'll see how it goes for the next couple of days.
Is that going to be a game time type of decision?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just talk about just how big this game is. Obviously, the opportunity to go 3-2, and obviously, erase 0-12 mark in the division.
No, I think every game is big in this league. Just quote Bill Parcells again that it's euphoria and disaster every week, and but at the same time, you've got to stay focused on the moment. It is a division game for reasons that make it a little bit more important, but every game is so big in this league. So if you get caught up in trying to make one game way bigger than the other, it's just you're going to get yourself lost. So we try to keep the main thing. Miami's another opponent. They're a really good opponent and somebody that we're looking forward to playing on Sunday.
Not every team that has a backup like Bridgewater, obviously, does that, I assume, well, you treat any backup seriously, but having a guy like him, I would assume even makes it easier to get your players' attention because they know what this guy's done.
Oh, firsthand. He got after us last year when we went to Denver. Teddy is a very well-respected quarterback within league circles. I don't know about perception with media, but I know with regards to players and coaches who evaluate him and who have played against him, have a tremendous regard for him, not only as a person but as a player. And if anyone's capable of running that offense, it's going to be him, and he'll do it at a very high level.
Players often talk about, when they get to this level, adjusting to the speed of the game. You've been in the NFL a long time, and now 21 games into the head coaching role. Do you feel things slowing down for you during games just because you've been doing it now for a year and a half?
Maybe you're a lot more aware of rules. You know the rules going in, but then you learn something new every day. When you're watching the game, you look at it from a different light in terms of, oh, look at that scenario and that situation, and man, what could we have done there? And so a lot of discussions are made just by watching other teams. And so since I've gotten the job of working with the situational coordinator, just trying to put myself through as many situations as I can before we get to game day. So when that happens, it is slow, and there's still a lot of stuff that I'm still learning and hopefully continue to learn. But yeah, it's slowed down, but those guys are still fast. So
you talked earlier about keeping the main thing, but you did make a point of emphasis to the guys about division games and that losing streak. How do you balance that now? Because those guys, they know how important it is, and the fans, Jets, Dolphins, it's always a big game no matter what the records are, that kind of thing. How do you kind of, let's lock into this week, the streak and all that, and all those factors?
So what makes division games great is that you play each of these guys twice a year. Even when we play other teams, you're probably watching their tape because of all the crossover you get. They know us better than we think they know us, and we know them better than they think that we know them. There's so much familiarity because of the amount of times we play each other and the amount of times we get to watch them through crossover. That's what makes division games different. It's personal, because just like fighting your brother eventually, or hanging around your brother forever, you just get sick of each other. And so there's some personal feelings carry over from one game to the next. And then lastly, obviously, I've talked about it, it's the easiest way to get to the playoffs is to win your division. And so with all those, does it make it a little bit different? Yeah. Does it make it bigger? Not necessarily. You just want to make sure that you hold your own in your division if you truly want to look at yourself as a team that can take that next step to being a consistent playoff contender or being part of that discussion for years to come.
Does it make it a little more fun from a coaching perspective that you and Mike go way back and that you have that relationship and you're going up against each other?
I'll be honest. I don't like playing against my buddies. It's just a hard deal, right? Because you're going for blood, and you don't want to do that with somebody that you admire and care for. But at the same time, we get it. It's part of the job. It's part of our profession, and so when the game starts, it's about the Jets and only the Jets.
I know road games, road wins and home wins count the same, but in terms of just establishing yourselves and winning over the fans, is it important to put on, extra important to put on a good show at home?
It's always important. You want to win your home games. You have to win your home games. Not just perform well in front of the crowd, but to win these games. And being at home is a big deal. We want it to be something special. We want it to be loud. We want the advantage. We want people to worry about us when they walk into our stadium and worry about our fans and the volume and how loud they get. And part of that's our responsibility to give our fans something to yell about and to make sure that the visiting teams aren't overcrowding the stadium because people prefer to watch it at home. We want our fans to want to come to the stadium, and we'll eventually earn that love. And I think Deion Sanders has said it many a times. You've got to earn my love, and eventually we're going to earn it. We're going to earn it.
A lot of men mentioned obviously with the Dolphins offense, but what do you see from their defense in particular?
Aggressive, opportunistic, fast, violent. They're a really good defense. I know they got. You can throw analytics or stats all you want about where they're not efficient, but they're explosive and they don't let you in the end zone, and they do a lot of really good things to create problems not only for the play caller but for the quarterback and the offensive line and protection system. So it's going to be a tremendous challenge, and again something that we look forward to. But they do a really good job over there.
Did you grow up a Tigers fan?
Detroit,
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
But I'm still rooting for the New York teams.
You went there without even having asked.
Absolutely. No, it's fun. My kids, they don't know any better. My kids are, we're glorified military. They don't have a home. So right now they're as New York gets. And I mean, shoot, any longer they'll get the New York accent going. But no, we're cheering on both of them. And it'd be awesome if we get a little Subway Series going for the World Series.
Couple more?
How important is it for you guys to build on the momentum from last week and put yourself in a position where you can start stacking wins?
That's the whole thing. Every game is so independent of one another. You try to keep just focus on the game that you're in, but confidence is everything in this league. You string together a couple of good games and you start flying high and you're playing confident. You get faster. You heal faster. You feel better. Just everything feels better when you gain confidence, and so it's important. But at the same time, we've got to focus on this. Last week will have nothing to do with what happens this week. Now, as momentum builds, maybe, but this game will be independent.
And you guys being a team that's primarily single high, what kind of challenges does that present to your safeties specifically against receivers like Hill and Waddle when they'll both be on the field at the same time?
Yeah, it's mainly the corners. When you play single high as much as we do, you're seeing a lot more. You're putting a lot more stress on your corners. They're out on an island, but they put stress on everybody with the way their scheme is designed. They'll attack backers, safeties, corners. It's going to take all 11 to slow this team down, and I've said it earlier in the week. It's a 4x100 relay team. Running backs, tight ends, both receivers. They even got they're pretty fast, so it's going to be a challenge.
Can I ask about the shirt?
Yeah. So we're recognizing James Magazine, Patterson Eastside High School. He's our coach of the week. They won their third game of the year, upsetting one of the top teams in the state last Friday. He played quarterback at his alma mater back in 1995, and he's been coaching at the school since 2012 and has been the head coach for four seasons. So best of luck to the team this weekend.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.